Welcome everyone to the grand finals for the very first 2v2 tournament for Zerospace, and today spawning in the northwest corner of the map playing in pink, we got Down Bad RTS player playing as the Protectorate faction and his teammate, just by the right of him, playing in, well, a darker pick. We've got Shadow Axis playing as the Grell, and their opponents in the southeast playing in teal, we got Nerchio playing as the Grell, and the teammate alongside Nerchio will be Stardust, playing in green as the Protectorate. Welcome everyone, as I said, to the first ever grand finals of the 2v2 tournament for Zerospace, which is currently in alpha stages of development, but boy oh boy does it look good, and both players looking to get control of the control towers, or both teams rather. Grell versus Grell here in the east side, going toe to toe. On the west side it will be Protectorate versus Protectorate. Looks like the Prefect Nova coming out there for Stardust, looking to get control of that control tower and get the valuable XP. Now, so if you're new to Zerospace, there's a couple of things to talk about. The two main resources, there's Hexite and there's Luminite. Not Luminite, Hexite and Flux. Got wires crossed there for a second, but here we are. Here are the couple of the Hexite nodes, and then Luminite as the static ones here, static spawns, and then we do see some Flux deposits coming in on the mid-map later on in the game through aerial drop-offs. And see the Prefect Nova kind of moonwalking, forward moonwalking across the map. And that's fine, it's alpha development after all. And lots of things will be added and changed. But the game looks like in a really good spot. We're in the grand final, so we've had plenty of games up to this point. Some of which you'll find on the YouTube channel, but we'll talk about that later, because both Grell heroes do use the Deadly Mind's ability. But take a look at Prefect Nova coming in from the northwest, looking to snipe out the Grell hero. Doesn't quite manage it in the end. Grell hero uses the burrow out of there just as well, because otherwise that Grell hero would have been toast. You see the infused ability coming out, top bar ability on these units, making them doubly strong, doubly powerful, but also take up double the population space. As you see, two infused stingers now on the map. Heading towards the middle of the map, looking to contest that control tower in the middle. And bear in mind, you want those control towers. Oh, he does deep burrow out of there as well. The Shadow Axis just about in time. We'll be looking to recall those harvesters. Now, these are top bar abilities to recall. We're bringing those units back at home. But take a look at this. The cool colors of the southeast looking to put some pressure on, and are definitely doing it with a large number of units. Large number of those stingers heading across the map. Now, bear in mind that the team in the northwest, the warm colors of the northwest, did do a double expansion, which will help them get their economy running, but it won't account for anything if they lose the army. Do Grell heroes do use their Deadly Mind's ability to definitely fighting it out right in front of that factory, which is just about built up now. Defenders' advantage will be coming in from the northwest, but there's a lot of units heading in here. And well, there's a lot of bastions holding on in that position, which is coming in with fragmentation shells as well, which is incredibly important, by the way, because down bad RTS player now with fragmentation shells means that these bastions will have not only their splash damage, but will have the splash damage with the full range of attack for these units. Now, both Protectorate faction have gone up for improved beam up as their talent. Gets a good surround on those two bastions, those Grell stingers. Does recall both of those bastions just about in time. Now looking to get control on the west side. 3 bastions though. A decent number, pushing away those stingers for now. Although the stingers possibly could take that fight. We're not looking to overcommit. We'll be looking to try and snipe out the harvesters. Harvester will back away on that rich flux deposit. Stun blast ability comes up for Prefect Nova. Doesn't land. And the Grell and the Protectorate from the southeast heading back, looking to reset, regroup, and recalibrate to push out once again. Going on the east side, Grell versus Grell. Thinks better of it though. Doesn't want to engage just yet here, Nerchio. Holy moly. Okay, he's infusing. He's abusing that infusion. Looking to get a lot of those units out and double the strength and double the size, double the, I guess, power. Going northeast and making sure he gets control of that tower. Level 2 has come in from the cool colors of the southeast, went up with the improved infusion. Also went up for hunt, by the way, so we'll have some stealth on the field, which is a bit of different from what Shadow Axis went for the speed instead. Infantry walker damage coming in from Stardust, so possibly expecting a heavy T1 play with a lot of those infantry units heading right into the middle. Going up to the ramp. Oh, those things just passing. Looking to take out that expansion, which could be huge, by the way. Could take them out and then just run away home. Grell hero joins the fight as well. Coming from the south, though, retreat could be cut off there by the Protectorate from Down Bad. But look at this. So the Grell unit's heading that position as well. He's going to be escaping through the east side. Will he be cut off or not? No, he's managing to escape with it. He did take out the expansion. Good bit of damage, and now he's going to recall and bring those units back home. There it is for the Grell. You love to see it. But take a look at this from the north. That's a lot of Stingers, but the reinforcements come in at a good time. Grell here does use the Deadly Mind's ability. Stingers versus Stingers. Get your Stingers out. Who knows who's going to sting harder? Who really knows? Because there's just so much action. And well, those units from the south, they're going to retreat back within the little choke point there. But he might lose a barracks. He will lose one at least. Grow Hero pushing back, but now we see the Rageborns coming across the field, the Chakru ones, and if they get infused, which one of them is now being infused, they're going to become big, juicy, chunky boys. Oh, that's a lot of units that are coming from the northwest. The warm colours of the northwest looking to pack a punch, grouping together. There is a Rageborn infused. Does use the Deadly Vines ability on those commandos, going to make the retreat a little bit harder. Well, he does use the jump jet ability. That's a lot of bastions. I've got to say, I favour the bastions in this scenario, especially if he has fragmentation shields, which I believe he does. Fragmentation shells, rather. He does. He's going to take out that second base expansion if he does take out the army first. This is not looking good for the Protectorate, and Stardust going to lose a lot of army. Down to 42 supply on the east side. It's pretty well stabilised for now, but this is where the big push is coming in from, those bastions. Really paying dividends. A clutch play there by Down Bad. I gotta say, Deadly Vines gets used up, and look at that infused bastions. That is the way for the Protectorate from the northwest, and now he's going to be cutting off that second base expansion. No doubt about that. I would have thought. Although actually might be pushed away. Defender's advantage actually kind of coming in clutch here. A lot of his commandos popping out. Might have to retreat there. The warm colours of the west going northwards instead, and looks like Nurture going to try and cut off the retreat of those units, but decides better of it. Does have a Rageborn. But again, this is a strong performance here from the team in the northwest. Heading forward with a lot of units. Infused units too coming out. Although they're morphing still. Some might get taken out. Unfortunate at the location he chose to infuse them. They do go down for free. Gives them a bit of a respite. Now behind all this, second base expansion coming out there for Nurture. Bit of a late to it though, so his economy has been hit, has been damaged quite significantly, or at least hasn't been able to scale his economy all that much. And third level, holy moly, okay, it's time for Shadow Axis now to be abusing that infusion. We get infused lifesteal as well, which is going to be the tier 3, level 3, and elite infantry coming out for Stardust. So they do have a mechanism to try and hold if they can, but they need to increase that supply big time, especially Nurture. Nurture certainly struggling at this point on the east side, so Stardust needs to be careful not to leave him too exposed. And 2 Avengers on the field for the Protectorate. Avengers receiving. Their beautiful Scottish accents. That's a lot of bastions. That's a lot of bastions. I gotta say, mass bastions could be a clutch play here for Down Bad. Takes the engagement for now. Grell Hero is tanking a little bit. Does use the Deadly Vines ability on those commanders that try and jump jet out of there. They do. This is a huge fight. This might determine the win of this first game. Game number 1 for this grand finals. That's a lot of bastions, and while they're definitely jumping on this Shadow Axis and Down Bad, they definitely want to win this fight if they can. And if they don't, well, they might be caught a little bit on the retreat. We'll have to see. Now they're really pushing the bastions, just proving a little bit too strong. There's a striker though that's getting a decent amount of area effect damage, but it needs to be protected well. There's a lot of infrastructure there exposed, and he'll be losing that second base expansion if he's not careful. He might be able to keep it alive for now though. Yeah, the team in the northwest, the warm colours of the northwest, have to back off for now. Good hold in the end. Didn't lose that base expansion at least. At least not the core of it. Here comes some reinforcements. Oh, there's an infused striker. Holy moly. That's a big chunky striker. Now these guys, they are stealth courtesy of that tier 1 talent hunt. Speaking of talents, tier 3 coming in for Shadow Axis, Infused Lifesteal, and Elite Infantry for Down Bad. Oh, on the west side, a couple of bastions trying to get some value, looking to get a supply depot. That does have a tower on its side, it should get it in the end, and might need to back away though, because that's a lot of commandos coming in there for Stardust to hold that position. Massive striker as well, don't forget Infused Striker. That could be an issue. Bastions have to back away for now. Now, speaking about backing away, don't back away from smashing that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Obviously, it's got a long set ahead of us. It's going to be a best of 5. I hope you guys have been enjoying the casted games on the channel so far, at least anyway. And plenty more Zerospace coming your way. So if you want to keep up to date, make sure you subscribe, but more importantly, hit that notification bell because, well, that's how you're going to get notified whenever I upload some casted games. On the east side, here come the Stingers on the north, looking to get some value in terms of at least scouting to see if there's any greedy expansions. And what Shadow Axis, he spots it, he reacts nicely, looking to cut that off and needs to head back though, because, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot there to do damage with for Nurture, but I love the play, by the way. Nurture, he's being aggressive, he has to, right, because he doesn't really have the economy, or he doesn't really have the unit numbers, the supply, right? So he's trying to do the best with what he can, keeping his enemy's army away from his main base as much as possible. And that's a lot of army there for Shadow Axis. I gotta say, that's kind of scary. A lot of these units are infused. That feels rough. And looks like also Down Bad really pumping out those numbers. But he's going to retreat. Good use of the ability. Might lose a couple units. Yeah, he lost a couple of Stingers. Actually, quite a few of them. That's unfortunate. There is a timing on that. Fourth level coming in for the talents. Got Spiderlings coming in for Nurture. Oh, got to back away, though. Those Stingers got to back away. Doesn't quite land there with the Stun Blast ability from the Prefect Nova. Grouping together, though. I like this play here by Stardust, by the way. And Nurture. They need to group together because going toe-to-toe, Nurture needs a bit of time to recalibrate, but it needs to back away for now. Bit of an aggression coming on the west side. There's a lot of those Grell Stingers. They're stinging on top of the production. Grell here does use Deadly Mind's ability. Choke point a little bit tricky, but here comes Airstrike ability. We've seen players do it before. Is that Airstrike? No, I take it back. I take it back. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. All right, let's hold the phone. No airstrikes coming just yet, but I'll tell you what is coming in. The Bastions on the right side, and they're going to do a lot of damage. They're going to back away for now. Done what they needed to do. And well, they're really limiting the map control for the team in the southeast. The warm colours of the northwest getting a lot of map control. 3 towers into control. And well, I'll tell you what's in control of this fight. They have to back away for now because the team in the southeast definitely were in control of that for a long time. Gets us around on the Atlas, but the Atlas do get recalled back. It's a top bar ability for the Protector, and boy oh boy did they need it at that point. Overcommitted a little bit with those Stingers. There's a Rageborn though. But that is an airstrike ability. That is an ultimate ability for Down Bad RTS player as the Protectorate. Poking his head through on the west side. Grell versus Protectorate. Interestingly how they switch sides, right? Shadow Axis actually going on the west side. Down Bad going on the east side. Does have a couple of Dread Snipers and a lot of Atlas. That's actually kind of scary. 4 Atlas could turn the tide of this fight. We'll have to see if he engages. Playing it slowly, methodically, looking to do some more eco damage, but needs to back away for now. There's a lot of commanders, a lot of Stingers. 2 versus 1 at this point, and he does engage though. He engages even with the 2 versus 1. Airstrike ability comes down there to kill so many of those commandos. Absolute great usage of that airstrike ability coming out there for Down Bad. And boy, oh boy, did he make it work. There's 4 Atlases on the back line. Need to back away down to 3. Loses a lot of units though instead. And well, whilst the airstrike ability did a lot of work, I mean, this is where things are difficult, right? He kept him preoccupied, and then this allows Shadow Axis to push on the west side with a lot of those things which have been infused. Now they're coming to push in. They're going to take a factory, and that's a big issue. Taking out that production building is absolutely massive. The Protectorate struggling on that west side. Stardust got caught a little bit. Got caught on the right side. 4 Atlas still remain on the east side, taking out the Nourishing Pod, and this is an issue. That is for sure. Does have an infused Rageborn that could potentially try and push us back. But with 4 Atlases, it's going to be a tall order. And take a look at that Atlas. There is an Atlas there on the left side, but there's a lot of those Stingers. Grell Hero uses the Deadly Minds, but it's a bit of a choke point. The Infused Striker getting so much value. But if that Infused Striker goes down, it does go down. That is absolutely massive. I was going to push it even further. That's a lot of Stingers, ladies and gents. He's going to really rock him through. Get a good surround on his commanders. This is looking tricky for Stardust. Down to 24 supply. And if he loses the production, that might be the GG for game number 1 of this grand finals. But there's lots of room to recover. This is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. So there's plenty of room for this team to recover, but it does feel like that recovery needs to come in quick, because this game might be over in game number 1. He's losing production, he's losing that factory, and he does lose it in the end. Stardust, his economy has been crippled. He's being pushed back now. Here, Shadow Axis, but damage was done quite significantly. both players in the southeast looking to try and reset and regroup. Does have a large incubator. Medium incubator, I'm afraid. Apologies. That's the large incubator. There it is. But now with that full map control, the talents were coming in thick and fast for the warm colours of the west, and also the control towers. Would like to see him get control of this one though, by the way. But perhaps, probably doesn't matter at this point. Starting to aggress, and yeah, he's pinging it, right? He says, yeah, we need to get that. On the right side, the Valkyrie Hounds looking to snipe out that expansion. This is where things become really difficult for Nertio. He's been down and out for a while in terms of economy. Hasn't really been able to get that third base expansion for a long time, and now down to 2 bases. He's been able to be limited in terms of military production. Here's the engagement on the east side, and look, Stardust he's going to maybe help his teammate, but that might ping. And look at this on the west side. Oh, airstrike ability is about to come down. We shall see. Yeah, there it is. Pushes the army back, but look at this. Stardust on the east side means it's exposed on the west side. And, well, that exposure means that the expansion here, once again, down and out. And, yeah, this is going to be bleeding at this point. Stardust going to try and head forward to try and take as many of those stingers as they can with the commanders. Oh, yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. They tap out, and, well, that means we're going to be heading into game number 2. Don't go anywhere, because that's coming right up next. Welcome to game number 2 of this grand finals, and today spawning in the northwest corner of the map, playing in Burgundy. We've got Nertio playing as the Grell, and his teammate on the right of him. We've got Stardust playing in purple as the Protectorate faction. In the southeast, in purple, we've got Shadow Axis playing as the Grell, teaming up with Shadow Axis today in the southwest. In yellow, we've got Down Bad RTS player playing as the Protectorate faction. Welcome everyone to game number 2 of this grand finals, the very first ever Zerospace 2v2 tournament. We see the Grell hero heading in south, well, heading back really. There is a little bit of a seedling as well. It looks like actually looking to control that control tower on the right side is I believe that's Shadow Axis. Yeah, it is indeed. In the middle though, Down Bad RTS player looking to get that central control tower. So we get an early expansion coming out there for Nertio. Looking to undo wrongs of the first game. Well, not necessarily wrongs, but it was difficult for him to expand his economy early on in that first game. Doesn't want to be caught out this time around. And here comes some barracks, double factory, and a factory as well. This is pretty greedy, I've got to say. Double barracks and a factory in the northwest, and an expansion. Although it looks like it's being matched in the southeast. Looks like Shadow Axis doing the same, getting an expansion as the Grell. And it's going to be a triple barracks. So this is the first. Well, he did actually undo that. So double barracks in the south for down bad rather. Excited to see how this one pans out. Now, a lot of map control has been given away. It looks like a lot of the control towers coming in favour of the team in the southeast. That means the talents will start to rise because of the XP. Now, I hope you guys have been enjoying the content for Zerospace recently on the channel, and if you would love to support the game, the best way to do that is wishlisting it on Steam. Currently in alpha development at the moment, and look how good it looks in alpha. I can't wait to see what it's going to be looking like in beta and further on the lines. Now, if campaigns are your things, it's going to be having a great decision-based campaign cinematic storyline. Those are a lot of big words. That means it's going to be a big game, surely, right? Deadly Vines ability comes out there for the Grell hero. Does deploy the light turret, the Prefect Nova, looking to back away. Recall ability comes out there for the Protectorate. Just as well, because Down Bad could have lost a lot of units otherwise. Opening up with Bastions, just quite like he did in game number 1. It's looking to be a very favourable unit. It's looking to skip those commandos, and maybe looking to get an early fragmentation shells upgrade as well. We'll have to see if he does have the upgrade. As I say it, he gets it. He's got it. There we go. And I feel like it's a very strong build. It's working really well for him, especially against mass Grell stingers. He wants to use that splash damage. I love what he's doing, by the way. He doesn't have that many units, but pushing northwards, rather. Recall ability comes out there for Stardust. Brings it back home. And that's a lot of Grell units, too. Does get surrounded on the Avenger. Avenger backs away with the recall ability. Heading back home. Talents are in. Improved beam up for the Protectorate for Down Bad. It's going to be vehicle engines coming up for Stardust, and understandably so, because he did go for that factory, right? So he's looking to get a couple of those strikers out nice and early. The Grell, movement speed came out for Shadow Access, but Hunt came out for Nerchio. Interesting play here. I kind of like what Nerchio and Stardust are doing here. I love their plan, going for the bit of stealth as well as the vehicle aspect of things and attacking up a little bit. Here comes the second base expansion though for the Protectorate for Down Bad. Interesting approach so far in this game. Game number 2, of course, all to play for in this best of 5 series. Of course, Stardust and Nerchio will want to pull one back. Speaking about pulling back, well, looking to take the fight. Oh, there's a lot of Grell units getting us around, but a lot of those Grell units for Nerchio have been unstealth for a bit, so wasn't necessarily fully seen there. By Shadow Access, backs away for now, looking to now infuse his units. He did great work at doing, by the way, in game number 1. Kept his units alive for a long time and make sure that they're infused. Make sure he gets the most out of them. Now bear in mind, these 2 harvesters getting that rich flux there for Down Bad. That's incredibly strong. He loves venturing out into those risky areas. We saw that in game number 1. Seems like we're seeing it certainly in game number 2 as well. Tier 2 talents are in for Stardust and Nerchio. We'll check and see what they've actually chosen in a second, because we might see an engagement here. Could be a 2 versus 1 though. This is going to be a battle fight here. Oh no, Dead Divine gets deployed. But yeah, Shadow Access needs to back away from that one. Although Bastions are now heading into the field, and they kind of didn't start firing until they got really close and personal. Rageborn's coming in. This is going to be a huge fight here. The team in the Northwest might be taking this one. We shall see. Bastions coming in to join the fight once again. Dead Divine's deployed. But a lot of those units do go down, and that is huge. Huge fight in the end, but I mean, yeah, the team in the Northwest win that fight. Question is, can they do some more critical damage from it? Backing away for now. Talents level 2. Infantry walker damage for Stardust, and improved infusion for Nerchio. Infused striker though for Stardust. Setting a couple of stingers northeast. Looking to get just a bit of control there. Oh, yeah. That's a nice bit of use of the stealth. Like, you see how important that is now, that talent. How it came in clutch in that little fight there on the west side. Setting a couple of bastions. Looking to get that control tower on the west side. Bear in mind, 3 control towers still in the hands of Nerchio and Stardust. And that means they have their level 3 elite infantry and infused lifesteal coming in for Stardust and Nerchio. But maybe it might be a timing push, timing attack. A lot of infused units there coming in for the Grell in the southeast. Both players and both teams kind of respecting the situation at this moment. I think Stardust and Nerchio are quite happy with the way things are though, having 3 control towers in their grasp. Although if they take one bad fight, it could become an issue. And well, Shadow Access looking to force that fight a little bit here on the right side. And he's picking off reinforcements. This is pretty good. Oh, a couple of bastions. They decide to turn and fight. Rightly so. To take the engagement, there is an infused striker though, trying to get us around on the striker, does get one of them, but Commando's coming in heavily from the south, and well, this should be, I mean, that's a lot of stingers, guys. That is a lot of stingers. It does get surrounded. Deadly Vines gets deployed there, and well, that's a huge fight. I mean, the issue is that Stardust should be okay holding with that mass, especially with the Prefect Nova and that light turret. Down Bad coming in from the southeast, has to back away. Not too many units, mostly mercenary dread snipers that are floating a little bit, but hey, it's alpha, don't at me. On the right side, a lot of commandos grouping together with those stingers, and well, Stardust and Nerchio still maintaining that map control. Bear in mind, they've got a 3rd base expansion here for Stardust. Nerchio, likewise, playing the macro game today, and they're holding onto that 3rd control tower. Level 4 coming in, stronger hero coming out there for Stardust. 100% attack speed, 20% damage reduction, additional 25% movement speed. I was just going to get spiderlings. So the units, when they die for the Grell for Nerchio, will spawn spiderlings. Maybe to snowball things a little bit during fights. Couple of bastions sending their way westwards. One commander will spot this, so the team will be aware of this little contestation of that control tower. Might force their hand a little bit. Decent number of stingers. Now let's just see what's happening back at home. We do see a large incubator going to be getting a Reaver out soon now. Is Nerchio. Got the strength of the economy to do so. And we see a Strider coming up. The tier 3 or the highly expensive tiered units coming out soon here for the team in the Northwest. And that's something that the team in the Southeast got to be careful of. I'm not so sure their economy can support the same just yet. There's going to be a 4th base expansion coming up for Down Bad. Looking to scale our economy. It's getting an Atlas or 2 now. Might be seeing a bit of a large-scale attack or fight very shortly, and boy, do we love to see it. A lot of stingers on the east side. Waiting to pounce on something, whatever they can find. Stardust has got to be careful. Might get surrounded. Does have 2 of the Strider, but take a look at that, the Grell. I love that upgrade. The hidden, the stealth. It makes things very tricky for the opponents. They group together with a Strider on the field and an infused Rageborn. That's looking like a menacing army, I gotta say. Tier 3 upgrade has come in for Down Bad. Gonna be elite infantry. But bear in mind, Down Bad has been able to access a lot of the flux for a long time, right? 450 hexite. Sorry, flux rather. For quite some time. It's something that the team in the Northwest would do well to try and deny and stop if they can, if they spot it as a problem. And it is a problem. Looks like they're recognizing that now and heading eastwards. Sorry about the stutter step. Taking the engagement. Needs to be careful not to split the army a little bit too much. Gonna be, they're packing a punch on the right side. Looking to take out the expansion, which is a nice approach. Trying to do some eco damage, really fighting together, I gotta say now. They're fed up of waiting. Stinger's charging a little bit too quickly. Grell here does use Deadly Vines, but he backs away. Airstrike comes out now. That's gonna be using the last ultimate ability just to maybe pick off a lot of units if they can. Bastions are in good numbers, gonna get good splash damage. I'm sure we'll have fragmentation shells. He does indeed. That will increase the splash damage. Well, it caused the splash damage to affect the full radius of the attack, because the Bastion does start off with a little bit of a splash damage without affecting the full range of attack. But that fragmentation shells will mean it will do so. Will weapons deal full damage and splash radius? Protectorate units moving westward now, putting the armies back and forth. Oh, they Grell do need to back away. Took a couple of hits there. Good reactions overall. Might be taking the fight now. There's 2 infused Atlases. This could be huge. There's a Strider on the back line looking to pounce. Commandos, Stingers, Rageborns. Together in one group. Might be a big fight imminent any moment. We see the rich flux going to be deposited soon with this aircraft on the field. Looks like they may be pushing down the south. Down Bad's got to be careful. He spots the danger though. There is a Reaver going to go up top of that ramp. Is this go time? They might be looking to take out the factory, but there's an engagement there. Protectorate versus Protectorate. Got to be careful here. Grell versus Grell on the east side. The Grell should be winning that there for Nerchio for sure. Flowers get deposited on the west side. That's a lot of those Protectorate units coming in there for Stardust. Well, it's going to be careful not to dive in too much though. He's kind of committing a little bit hard. Might get surrounded in the north. This is an issue. Grell here does use the Deadly Vines ability. There's no real retreat here. Reaver coming in with a charge. This could be a huge fight, but I mean, ultimately, it looks like it might be a hold for Stardust. Yeah, they're holding. They're going to push in once again now. That's a lot of Reavers. This could be the GG. The massive economy really scaled so well. Now looks like Down Bad going to be under a lot of pressure. This could be leveling up the series 1-1. We'll have to see. The game is far from over, of course. Stardust and Nerchio really making the most of their talents and their map control earlier on the map. Now looking to really double down, take out production abilities. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Stardust and Nerchio. They take game number 2. They even up the set. We're heading in to game number 3. Welcome everyone to game number 3 of this grand finals, and today for this third match, spawning in the northwest, playing in orange, we've got Shadow Axis playing as the Grell. Teaming up, of course, will be Down Bad RTS player playing in purple rather, as the Protectorate, and their opponents in the southeast playing in grey. We've got Nerchio playing as the Grell. Nerchio's teammate will be none other than Stardust, of course, playing in green as the Protectorate. Game number 3, ladies and gents. The set is tied at 1-1. Best of 5 means that, well, of course, the next 2 games could be incredibly critical. We do see Prefect Nova coming out here for Down Bad. Looking to snipe out a couple of those little critters and get that valuable Excite. On the west side of the map, by the way, Shadow Axis and the Girl Hero looking to fight off against Prefect Nova. Coming in there for Stardust. And it could be 2 Vestas while Stardust needs to get out of there. If he can. Does recall. Does just about get out of there. Dead Device didn't quite deploy. That was close. That was very, very close. On the east side, Girl Hero popping out for Nerchio, looking to get some value as possible. Looking to go into the middle of the map, and does already have the right-sided control tower, by the way, Stardust, so we'll be getting that valuable XP. I'm going to use the Dead Divines just to make sure nothing heading in this position, and, well, there's going to be a second base expansion coming up for the Grell. We're seeing it as a very common theme, actually, for the Grell, for the timing push. Getting a second base expansion to scale that economy. Both players from the southeast moving towards each other now, teaming up against the Prefect Nova. Oh, the Prefect Nova needs to back away there for Down Bad. He does indeed. It comes up with a couple of commandos here as well. Stardust opening up with a double barracks and a factory. The Protectorate on the other side of things opening up with a double barracks and a factory. So very similar sort of openings for both players. It's going to come down to the final details. Do you see the flux going to be deposited in the next 17 seconds? Both control towers, 2 control towers rather, for the team in the southeast. Just the one on the west side looking to now be decapped. That's actually an issue. Well, the center one's now being decapped. So yeah, they're both fighting for that mid-map objective relatively evenly now. With the kind of mirror match in terms of factions, this does mean that the mid-map control of these towers is incredibly important, because you get those talents in earlier, may scale those fights a little bit better. We'll have to see. Going up north, they're signaling. And Shadow Axis and Daubad looking to group up together, looking to contest that rich flux, right? That's what they really want to do, deny the rich flux coming in, and they're getting the memo. The warm colours of the northwest, looking to keep that under control, that area. And they can protect it with the light turret as well. Girl here does use the deadly fires, just looking to get that flux in for as long as possible. Daubad really loves the rich flux on the map. We see a very big feature of his play in both game number 1 and game number 2, and it's clearly playing a role in game number 3. A couple of bastions coming out for Down Bad as well, really heavily relying on that unit. Needs to be careful now in this team in the southeast. They're taking the engagement. I'm not so sure they can win it. Grell Hero does use the Deadly Mind's ability for both players, and it's going to get a good surround with those stingers. Those commandos, they're pretty... well, they're okay, they're okay. There's a lot of Grell units there with them. It looks like actually now it's Down Bad and has to back away with his bastions. Now Down Bad, does he have fragmentation shells? He does, so he's going to get good splash damage out of this. Talking about damage, both Grell Heroes do use the Deadly Mind's ability. The Harvester gets recalled back to safety, and so do those bastions. Down Bad and Shadow Axis have to back away, have to regroup, have to reset, recalibrate, readjust, and that they will do. But what this allows the team in the southeast to do is get those control towers, 2 of which already are in the bank, and those talents are coming in thick and fast. We've got Hunt coming out for Nurture, he loves that one. Movement speed coming in for Shadow Axis. Vehicle engines coming out for Stardust. Improved beam up coming in for Down Bad. Stardust, he does have that factory up and running, so possibly we'll see a couple of vehicles sooner rather than later. Bastions, really the big option for him is choosing. He loves that unit we've seen so far in the first 2 games. And those 2 bastions going to push away those commandos. Commandos are good numbers. There is a stride on the back line, so those Stingers going to try and get us around. Commandos do jump jet out of there. Need to get out of the Deadly Vines. Comes out for the Grell Hero for both sides, in fact. Commandos holding well. Prefect Nova with the stun ability on the back line. Strider getting good value. Needs to be careful not to keep that Strider unguarded. Bastion's going to go straight into the fight, though. I'm not so sure about that from Down Bad. He might lose a couple of those Bastions for sure. Although a couple of them do look... yeah, they're going to get recalled. Great play there by Down Bad. Got value, then he recalled those units to keep them alive to fight once again later on in the match. Stingers coming in, though, for Shadow Axis. Need to retreat a little bit. Might lose a couple of Stingers on the retreat. Deadly Vines, no Deadly Vines. They're coming in for Nerchio. Nerchio has expanded, that second base expansion, obviously earlier in the game, and so did Shadow Axis. That's what's supplying all these Grell units on the field. They now look to contest that middle, or get control of that control tower in the middle. They've got all 3 control towers that allows them to get to level 2 of the talents. Recall ability on those weakened commandos. Need to back away here if they can, or might get a good surround on the bastions potentially if they consider coordinating. Decide against it. On the east side, Shadow Axis got a lot of units on the east side. We'll snipe out that lonely harvester on the rich flux deposit. They're backing away. Team in the southeast looking to regroup together. Looks like the momentum heading back into the warm colours of the northwest. We shall see if they pack a punch later on. But talents coming in, improved infusion, and infantry walker damage coming in for the cool colours of the southeast. Now the series is 1-1, so all to play for in this best of 5 grand finals. We'll lose another harvester. No, he actually manages to maybe survive. He does. Deadly Divine's ability gets deployed, and those stealthy stingers get a good surround on those bastions. He gets a really good surround. The bastions do recall themselves out of there. They had to. Now, bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've said it before, but this is alpha stage of the game, so lots of things will be improving. That Grail Hero kind of floating across the map. But another reminder, gentle reminder, to say that if you enjoy the games you've seen so far, the best way to support Zerospace is wishlisting it on Steam. Best way to support me is subscribing to the channel, if you actually watch the games. If you don't, then, well, I'd question what you're doing here. In any case, we see Infusion coming out with one of those stingers, and some of that Shadow Axis did quite well in the last game. I'd love to see him infuse a couple more. On the west side, a couple of commandos heading in that area. Stardust looking to get a little bit semblance of control on that control tower again. In the middle, though, heavily contested, the warm colours of the west, starting to push back a little bit. Shadow Axis and down bad. Well, looking to go on the west side, looking to snipe out the harvester on the rich flux, does go down. Now bear in mind, if you do lose a harvester, it is not lost forever, it will respawn after a period of time. The Protectorate coming in for Stardust, again looking to get control of that west tower. 3 control towers now for the warm colours of the west. I'm getting a bit of semblance of that map control back after that earlier fight. And boy oh boy do they need it, because it's going to be level 3 already up there for Nerchio and Stardust. Elite infantry and improved lifesteal. We'll lose a couple of stingers. Well, that's okay. He knows what's coming. We see the Chakra Crabs, which are great tanking units, starting to head north. And there's a 3rd base expansion coming up for Shadow Axis, but possibly coming... No, sorry, it wasn't a 3rd base expansion, just a huge blob of orange, and look at those stinger numbers. Some of them are being infused, by the way, so that's looking kind of strong. 2nd base expansion has come up for Stardust. Same can be said for Downbad. Takes the engagement, a lot of stingers going right on top of those commanders. Going to try and get a good surround, but a lot of Chakra Crabs tanking. Atlas is coming in from the right side. Well, that's a Strider on the top of the hill. That has been infused, by the way, getting so much value. Oh no, it feels like Shadow Axis is losing a lot of units. Although, is he getting a surround? I think he is. He's going to pick off those crab. In fact, he's winning it. There's just so many. And well, that's a lot of bastions that might go down if he gets a good surround. And I think he does. I think he commits. The Atlases won't be able to get around. He's going to get a good body block. Wait, maybe not. They're grouping together. They're the same team. Okay, it happens. But anyway, they're going to group together, move across the map, and maybe look to try and get some more value on the east side. Okay, he's abusing that in infusion. That's a lot of infusions coming out. But he saved them up, right? Saved them up for good timing. And this is not looking great for Nerchio. He's down on the supply, 45. This could be bad. That's a lot of bastions, a lot of stingers. This is looking a strong push. They group together. The warm colours of the west might be taking game number 2 of this best of 5. Going to get surrounded on the Avengers. Deadly Divine's ability gets deployed. And well, with the bastions on the backline adding into that fight, the expansions will be taken down. Massive critical damage to the economy. And what they might be able to push even further. There's a lot of stingers though in response though for Nerchio on the west side at least. And a couple of commandos too, but he's being pushed on his 3rd base expansion. This is looking tricky. There's stingers. The bastions are holding, allowing the stingers to do what they need to do on that back line, on that economy. And with this engagement, I mean, that's a lot of economy going down. Nerchio down to 26 supply. Does have a couple of infused Rageborns that, well, they'll be doing a lot of raging. They can take out the medium incubator. Does take out the medium incubator. Production going to be hampered a lot and significantly. And take out a nourishing pod, and he does do so. There's a strong push here. Those bastions. One of them has been infused, by the way. That is looking incredibly strong numbers. And he's losing infrastructure, that's for sure. Nerchio really bore the brunt of that. Stardust down to 36 supplies, trying to hold on the west side, but a lot of those Grell units going to get surrounded on Stardust's commandos. And next will be his production post, most likely. They can take out the turret on that supply depot, and then probably the barracks. And it might not be enough there, though, I've got to say, for Shadow Access, but that's fine because his teammate on the right side with the Atlases and the Bastions getting so much value. It feels like Nurture is down and out complete. Down to 14 supply in game number 3. And Infused units coming in once more for the Grell. For Shadow Access, going to be making things even worse. Yeah, they're going to take this fight and possibly win it. Take out infrastructural damage now for Stardust, and without the production ability for Stardust, both players in the southeast will be struggling heavily. There's just too many units. I think that's got to be the GG. Feels almost impossible to come in now. Streams of units coming into the northwest. Going to be losing that factory. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 gets played. Game number 4 coming right up. Game number 4, don't go anywhere. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Welcome everyone to game number 4 in this best of 5 grand finals for the 2v2 tournament for Zerospace. In the northwest, in red, we've got Stardust playing as a protectorate faction. Teaming up with him, we've got Nurtio playing as the Grell in grey. And in the southeast, their opponents, their adversaries, their enemies. We've got Down Bad RTS player playing in orange as the protectorate. Teaming up with him, we have got Shadow Access playing in purple as the Grell. Welcome everyone, this is game number 4. It's 2-1, it could go any way. Well, ultimately, Nurture and Stardust need a victory here. They need to win this game to make sure that it's a tie to take it to a final game. So this could be the end of it. Hopefully not, but you know, it's going to be match point for Down Bad and Shadow Access. Moving forward on the west side are Down Bad and Shadow Access making a point to take this left side and to get that control tower, doubling up with their heroes. On the east side, looks like the Grell, Nurture looking to get that control tower on the right side and get that valuable XP. Now XP will translate into levels up, and levels up will translate into talents. If we see Down Bad, he really focuses on that harvester production, double harvester to get that rich flux. Double base expansion has come out there for Nurture already, and also likewise for Shadow Access. Grell mirroring each other once again, just like in the previous games, but I'll be excited to see if we have something interesting in store for us in this one. I guess the onus really is on Nurture and Stardust to pull something out special to try and get the set evened up, if they can. Now, rich flux is going to be deposited right in the middle of the map, so that's going to be a contested area for sure. Interesting, though. It seems a little bit more... I mean, it's double barracks opening for Down Bad. Opening with the Bastion. No real surprises there. We've seen him do it time and time again in this series. It'll be a triple racks opening here for Stardust. Trying something a little bit different, I think, here. Did initially in the last couple of games go for an early factory, so looking to really pack a punch on the tier 1 infantry units. Could be interesting here. Stardust playing it a little bit differently. I'll be excited to see how this one pans out because of that. But I gotta say, Bastions, they seem to be scaling pretty well into the mid game. I wonder whether that play within the Bastions is looking kind of a little bit on the stronger side, but we shall see. Of course, Stardust has made it work with the Commandos in game number 2. Infusion comes out with one of those stingers. Decent number of Bastions are in the field already. Does have fragmentation shells, so clear optimal build for Down Bad, of course. Does use the stun blast ability there. Prefect Nova deploys the light turret, looking to get control of that middle turret and get that talent up and running as quickly as possible. Bastions, one has to back away for now. Second might be going down soon. Does he use to be called? But Grell does use the nice Deadly Vines ability. Taking the engagement. The Stingers versus Stingers. Protectorate Commanders looking to get on top of that control tower as much as possible. Try and hold them for as long as possible. Bastions trying to get as close as possible to try and use the maximum of their splash damage that they can do with the fragmentation shells. It looks like the team in the northwest might have to push a bit further on because they could win this fight. Or the Commanders have to jump out of them. They're very weak. In fact, no, it won't be. It will be the colours from the southeast pushing hard and winning that fight in the middle. This could snowball quite badly. Bastions in good numbers. Infusions coming out on those Stingers. The Grell here and Prefect Nova combining incredibly well in the southeast. And now that Cultivator will go down. So will the Harvester. Witch Flux can be firmly in the grasp of Shadow Axis and Down Bad. Now, could that be the game-changing play in game number 4? Could that be what wins the set and the series and the tournament for Shadow Axis and Down Bad? We'll have to see. That was huge. Nurture down to 28 supply. They're going to need to find a way to regroup and recover from that fight. It was a big one. Goes on top of the ramp. Oh, this could be deadly. It does have a couple of stingers that were hidden, but I don't think he has quite enough. Does have a Rageborn. Deadly Vines gets deployed on the Bastions. They split off for now. This Stinger's going to try and get us around on the Commanders if they can. They back away for now because the Stinger's 2 versus 1 there. And in fact, will the Legion... Sorry, will the Protectorate push over in the north? They are. Trying to get infrastructural damage. Well, looks like Nurture trying to hold in that line. They group together, Nurture and Stardust. They're taking the fight together, which is important in this situation. Does Commander drop in? They're going to take out the light turret first. Decent number of Bastions, though. If the Bastions go down, that could be tricky. Deadly Vines ability gets deployed. And in fact, this should be an okay hold, especially with the Rageborns involved. The hero does go down. The Grell hero, Prefect Nova, he teleported out of there, recalled out of there. That was a good hold. That was an important hold. It was a critical hold for Nurture and Stardust. Now they can push out on the mid-map once again. They could snipe out that Harvester. Does he get it in the end? We'll have to see. Probably not. Backs away. Good number of Bastions, though, still alive for Down Bad. Now, Down Bad has expanded to a second core base. Stardust not done the same just yet, and that does put them in a good spot here. The earlier expansion. Go for another barracks and a factory. Going to get an Atlas on the map soon. Nurture and Stardust heading back for now. This should allow the control towers to firmly be in the grasp of Shadow and Down Bad. And that's going to be bad news, because those talents will start to rock in. We do see talents already popping in. Improved beam up for both Protectorate and Infantry Walker damage as well for both. Movement speed for Shadow and Hunt for Nurture, both also adding in improved infusion. Now that movement speed will give the little slight edge there for Shadow Axis if he looks to dictate the terms of an engagement. We'll see if that factors into the game. And there is that second base expansion now for Stardust. Third base expansion here for Nurture. That could be a game decisive move on the east side. Stingers versus Bastions. Decides not to take that fight, rightly so. On the west side, looking to snap out some Harvesters. Good pick off there by Stardust. Should be able to get one. Does get one. Just back away for now, because that's a lot of Bastions. There's a lot of units in the Protectorate. Does have a couple of Dread Snipe as well. Gonna get a couple of units in the retreat. Does lose a couple of those Commandos. That didn't get recalled. Atlas engages. Rageborn. Stunned. Don't really get out of there. He needs to get out of there. Oh, he might lose a Rageborn for free. Prefect Nova snipes him down. He does dive down to the ground and he perishes. A good snipe off there, I gotta say. Third levels coming in. Infantry having the elite status there for Down Bad. Infused lifesteal for Shadow. That's a lot of stingers. That's a dangerous amount of stingers there for Shadow. Look at his population. His supply. Same could be said for Down Bad. Looking scary. Heading forward with a couple of Bastions. Does get the Deadly Vines ability. Great use of the ability to get us around. A recall comes in there. In the nick of time for Down Bad. But I gotta say, this is looking scary for the team in the Northwest. They need to win this game. They need to get onto that map somehow, but they're struggling with their supply. Supply is in short supply. They need army. They need it fast. Maybe mercenaries could be helping. We'll have to see if they can venture out in the map, mid-map anytime soon. The real concern is the Bastions, right? The scalability of this unit is still very relevant in the mid-game. And the longer the game goes, they become even more relevant with the fragmentation shells, I've got to say. The splash damage can turn the fights. That's a lot of Grell stingers coming in from the south, possibly looking to engage. There's a lot of commandos, though, coming in for Stardust. There's other striker or two, which will certainly help against those stingers. Dancing around, holding on. I think Down Bad and Shadow Axis are happy with this, though. They got the control towers. 2 of them, at least. Oh, so Bastion's about to dive in. There's a Rageborn, though. A big infused one as well. The Grell heroes do use their Deadly Vine's ability. Those little turrets coming out from the Atlases, they take the huge engagement. This could be the game-changing engagement. We'll have to see who actually turns out winning this one. The Rageborn's holding on, at least for now, but that's a lot of Atlases on the back line there for Down Bad. And those Atlases getting huge value. This is not looking great here for the Northwest team. Down on their supply quite significantly, and now with that fight, I feel like things have swung already once again in favor of Down Bad and Shadow. Level 4 talents coming in, improved crisis response and essence collector. It's going to be infused life still for Nurture, elite infantry for Stardust, and well, he's going to need that elite infantry. He needs it here fast. He's going to be pushed here. Nurture, he's going to lose his infrastructure quite quickly. There is Stardust with his infantry, slowly pushing this back, and I think he engages. The Bastions should feel fine with this, especially with the Atlases on the back line. Prefect never goes down. Oh, this is not looking great here for Stardust, I've got to say, losing units. Nurture, he's losing infrastructure. A lot of Rageborns. The Atlases and Bastions in good numbers. Going to take out the expansion in the north? No, it's going to be pushed back for now. At least for now. They're playing patiently. They're not jumping in too quickly. Although they are jumping in now on the west side. Rageborns getting on top of those tanks. The Avengers might go down. And there is a Juggernaut. That could maybe... No, the Rageborns are going to get on top of that. That's not looking good. The Bastions in the north, Atlases in the north, and taking out the infrastructure. But look at that, the Rageborns on the west. Really getting it surrounded. Going to take out the turret and maybe even the striker on the backline. Does take it in the end. And oh no, this is not looking great. I mean, those Bastions keep pumping out. Dread Snipers too. Here comes some reinforcements, but Rageborns, they deploy. And they're going to take out the barracks for Stardust. If he loses the barracks, the infrastructure is going to go down. Production is going to go down. And the team is going to go down. This is not looking great at all. The Rageborn is getting so much value. It's so difficult to deal with. And now Stardust down to 21 supply. Nurture down to 21 supply. They're trying to hold him for as long as can, but the Bastion's going to go north. The Atlas, as well as the Dread Snipers. And well, there's just not enough units. The incubators are going to go down. Once incubators goes down, that means no stingers. That means there will be no sting left in for the Grell in the northwest. And yep, that's it. The infrastructure's gone down. The Grell are struggling. Nurture taps out. And so will Stardust, I'm sure of that much. On the west side, what has he got left? Not much at all. Yeah, not much at all. And it will be the factory going down. The expansion on the northeast. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the casted games and the set. It was a great game for Zerospace. Great set for Zerospace. And what was a cracking best of 5. But of course, Shadow and Down Bad taking the set 3-1. The game is in alpha at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. But more importantly, wishlist the game on Steam because it's got a great future ahead of it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care and see you next time.